thought I'd start with this camera today. See? Different view. So I walked into a counter today and I got a hip pointer. I don't know if you hip pointers. It's kind of, a lot of times that's a football thing where you get dinged on the hip and you're just like, and this thing is killing me. So I was reminded that I'm not a graceful ballerina. And I have to take no umbrage to that fact that I am not. I'm more of like a lumbering lout that just crashes his way through life. Hence why the stand out post on the signage. That was actually from Wonder Bus, the festival here that was here in Columbus a few years. They had put up these giant boards and they left all these cans of spray paint out. All these multiple colors, and it was very nice, and people made all this stuff, and you could see the background of it. By the third day, I was like, I have VIP access. I can bring a truck in here. I bring all the equipment for the radio station. So I brought a can of black spray paint, and just was like, it's like, stand out. There it is. So yes, I just spray painted that in giant letters across this paneled artwork that really, if you see, there's nothing that I covered. It was just a bunch of colors that people had just kind of like, made colors. No one really did anything because there was no real colors to stand out, and so many people did it. Anyway, so yes, the graceful ballerina I am not. And yes, I do stand out when I come crashing into rooms for all sorts of reasons. Physically, mentally, emotionally, verbally, all the above. So, Randsanity. Welcome to episode 175. 25 to go till December the 17th, episode 200. Man, I found out something. I went to get on a TikTok account. I can't remember the password. And I was like, oh, associate with this email. No, this email, no, this email, no, this email, no. I was like, okay, this is not good. This phone number, no, this phone number, no. I'm like, I was in it. How do I not? So yeah, so I'm I'm a little dismayed that I cannot remember how to get into this TikTok account that I have been in and I want to get back into. So if you have any suggestions, please feel free to go ahead and tell me what to do, because man, I'm struggling here. Technology is just evading me lately. I don't know what's going on. I feel like a Luddite, just completely unable to deal with technology. What can I tell you? It's just the way it is, right? Technology, what a bitch. I hope everyone had a fantastic Saturday. It was nice in the sunshine. It was cold in the shade. I definitely have to tell you that, I mentioned, remember I told you I smashed my finger and I could have sworn I heard a crunch. Well, it's still very swollen, and it was cold enough today that, man, my finger hurts in the cold. So there's definitely something going on with it. I'm afraid this is going to be a precursor to things to come, that it's going to become this barometer for cold weather, and my finger is going to hurt. Not happy. And Again, I'm reticent to go get an x-ray of the tip of my finger, but I have a feeling the bone is smashed, which would be really, really not great, because what are they going to do? I don't think they cut my finger open and glue the bone back together. What do you do, doc? I don't know. Just suck it up like broken ribs from Mardi Gras. Suck it up. Deal with it. You'll love it. It'll feel great. Oh my God. Oh my God. What up, Willow Gallo? Oh my God. What did I do wrong now? Anyway. All right. So remember, there's no rhyme or reason to this. It goes back and forth with movies and music and new and old and good and bad. And there's definitely a couple bads in here today. Really? Bro, what up with that? We'll get to those. We'll start with 1928, when the orchestral work Ravel's Bolero is released. Now, if you've never heard Ravel's Bolero, it's like a 3/4 dance music orchestra. It starts very slow, and then it just builds to this crescendo. It was made famous in the 1979 film 10. And basically it was the music that was playing when Bo Derek and Dudley Moore were having their sex scene. So basically it's this music to have sex by Bolero's Ravel's Bolero. So if you listen to it, it's very much like, there's no words. It's just this acoustic piece. But yes, that's when I saw that and I heard it, that's the first thing I thought about was 10, because that was what sort of made that thing famous. In 1967, the BBC bans I Am the Walrus by the Beatles. Now, the reason that they banned it, they said because the lyrics were, the word that they used was that they were indecent. But basically, it was the innuendo of indecency that they didn't like. They didn't like the lyrics specifically, boy, you've been a naughty girl, you let your knickers down. So I was like, the very suggestive lyrics, I was like, okay. But yeah, I was like, really, they banned it? Interesting. A year later, in 1968, the Beatles put out the White Album, which was their only double album. And funny enough, in 1994, Prince put out the Black Album. I'm sure that it was done on that date specifically. He didn't just randomly decide to put out the Black Album on some random November day. He probably looked at the Beatles and were like, you put out the White Album, I put out the Black Album. You go, Prince. Now this talk about foreboding. In 2010, Def Jam Records released his 5th studio album, My Beautiful, Dark, Twisted Fantasy. Can you guess what musical artist that was? That was Kanye West. Yep. My Beautiful, Dark, Twisted Fantasy. What would that be, Conway? I wonder. What? Tell me what that is. I'd like to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Tell us. 1968, the first interracial kiss ever on television. Who was that trendsetter? Who did it? William Shatner, Captain Kirk, and Lieutenant Uhura on Star Trek, of all places. I mean, he is a crazy Canadian. Shatner. I told you I met Shatner, right? I got to finally meet William Shatner. He was very nice. He was very sort of curt and brusque, which Shatner you would expect would be. It was just one of those, it was at a Comic-Con thing. So I got to go to it as a VIP and hang out. So yeah, he was nice, but he was definitely brusque, as you would expect Kirk would be. Shatner, his reputation is known to be a bit of a brusque individual. It was just a funny thing. That's all. 1957, Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel, Simon and Garfunkel, appear as Tom and Jerry on ABC's American Bandstand. Now, apparently these guys were close friends all the way from the time that they were children. And the first time that they appeared on stage together was in a school play, Alice in Wonderland. Simon was the White Rabbit and Garfunkel was the Cheshire Cat. When they began to perform later in their junior year as Tom and Jerry, Simon as Jerry and Garfunkel as Tom. Which I was like, really? They perform as Tom and Jerry as kids and then do it as adults. All right, I mean, that's fine. It's just kind of interesting, entertaining to say the least, a little bit strange, but I guess there's worse things that could happen, right? I mean, just saying. Bob Dylan. He's just always having stuff happening. 1961, working at Columbia Studios in New York City, Bob Dylan recorded 6 songs for his debut album, Man of Constant Sorrow, with Pretty Peggy-O, See That My Grave Is Kept Clean, Gospel Plow, Highway 51, and Freight Train Blues. The album did not receive much attention at first, but it achieved some popularity following the growth of Dylan's career. It took 3 years for it to start charting in the UK. I was reading something earlier that there was a Mel Brooks. I didn't put it down, but there was a Mel Brooks movie with Willy Wonka, Gene. Man, old brain, bad. Anyway, it tanked and didn't do well, and then basically won an Academy Award and became a cult classic a few years later. So yeah, never give up. That's all I can tell you. Just that you can never, ever, ever give up. So more Bob Dylan. He married Sarah Loudons in 1965 in a secret ceremony just during a break in one of his tours. The marriage took place under an oak tree on the judge's lawn in Minola, Long Island. Sarah is the mother of singer Jacob Dylan, and they got divorced in 1977. Now, we've met Jacob Dylan. He actually came and did a big room many, many years ago at the radio station of all places. We had all sorts of weird, like, sons of and daughters of. We had Sting's daughter perform. And it was weird because, seriously, when you close your eyes, if you didn't look at her, you were like, oh my God, it's Sting. It sounds just like him. It was just a little too unnerving. 1969, the band Iron Butterfly, who did the song In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, which was every DJ's 1970s bathroom break. Supported by Steel Mill featuring Bruce Springsteen, appeared at the Randolph-Macon College in Ashland, Virginia. The gig was held in the school's 300-seat gymnasium. I mean, Iron Butterfly, all these bands played these gyms of schools and colleges in like the 60s and 70s. Like I told you, I saw the Ramones play on the green in Rutgers, who fundamentally lost today playing Ohio State University in football, but I saw them play on the green in 1981. And I'll always remember, I told the story again today, it'll never forget it, where Joey Ramone was sitting there playing the guitar and someone just like threw one of these big cups of beer. It just like literally hit him like dead center on the chest, like while he's performing. And he just, for a second, stopped, was like, and went right back to playing. And that was it. Didn't say a word about it. Didn't interrupt the set. Just kept right on going. I think that's what I literally was like, I love these guys forever. That is just the way a rock show should be. It just, you're wet with beer because people are moshing and just having a blast. And you get in the action. You're the band. You're creating this havoc. So, Gene Wilder, thank you. Yes, Gene Wilder. See, that's why I need my secret producers in my ear to be like, it's Gene Wilder. Stop having brain farts. Yes, Gene Wilder. Damn. I know it was Gene. Not Gene the Dancing Machine from the Gong Show, but, you know, something like that. What can I tell you? You know, 1975, Casey and the Sunshine Band, speaking of bands that have been banned, started a 2-week run at number 1 on the U.S. singles chart with That's the Way, I Like It. The group's second number 1 in the U.S. of the year, and it made number 4 in the UK. Yeah, see, wasn't Casey like Gary Glitter, like a bunch of these other bands that, you know, they've just had some run-ins? Just saying. 1980, ABBA scored their 6th UK number 1 album when Super Trooper, spelled Trouper, like a troop, not a trooper, started a 9-week run at the top of the charts. The album, which featured the number 1 singles, The Winner Takes It All and Super Trooper, became the biggest selling of 1980 in the UK. Stevie Ray Vaughan in 1986 kicked off a 149 date North American tour and European tour at the Townsend Center in Townsend, Maryland. That was Stevie Ray Vaughan in Double Trouble. Stevie Ray Vaughan was a very good. Sorry, I don't think that he made it. I think I did get to see him once, way back in the Wayback Machine. 1987, Jesus and Mary Chain singer Jim Reed was arrested in Canada after being accused of assaulting members of the audience with his microphone stand. He was released on $2,000 bail. Well, he's like, bunk, 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 bunk. I think people were like, a xylophone? I don't know. How are you assaulting people? Were you unhappy with them, or what was going on? We want to know that. I did no extra research tonight. Now, here comes under the heading of, okay, dude, seriously? What the fuck? Bill Wyman, 1990, Bill Wyman announced that his 17-month marriage to model Mandy Smith was over. With the consent of her mother, it's going bad already when you have the consent of the mother. With the consent of her mother, Smith had started dating the 47-year-old Stones bassist when she was, ready? 13. First of all, Mom, what the fuck? Secondly, Bill Wyman, what the fuck? And thirdly, what the fuck? Seriously, bro? Man, I'm telling you. Thank God there's good people. 1991, Alice Cooper came to the rescue of two of his fans, Patrick and Dee Ann Kelly, whose California house was about to be repossessed. Patrick had painted Cooper's face on the house to sell the property. That would make people run away because Alice Cooper isn't exactly a handsome man, just saying. But Mr. Cooper signed autographs to help raise money for the couple to save their home. Okay, so see, that's the good stuff you want to hear. You want to hear about artists doing good things like that, not marrying 13-year-olds. Pearl Jam released their third studio album, Vitalogy, which was first released on vinyl and became the first vinyl album to appear on the U.S. charts since the domination of the compact disc format in 1994. They followed the release in other formats 2 weeks later, whereupon it became the second fastest selling CD in history, behind only the band's previous release, Verse. All right, fair enough. That's not horrible. 1997, INXS frontman Michael Hutchinson is found dead in his Sydney hotel suite, having taken his own life. 37 years old, he co-founded the best-selling Australian band in 1977, his beloved for his emotive vocals and captivating live performances. Now, there was rumors that went around for a long time that he was found with the whole autoerotica, autoerotica, basically he was hanged while naked and, but that was all disproved as false rumors, salacious rumors spread by haters. Jerry Lee Lewis, right? But in fact, it was not true. He was just a troubled soul and had committed suicide. He had some demons and had some troubles throughout his whole life with some internal struggles and just finally succumbed to them. It's just unfortunate. 1998, Alanis Morissette was #1 in the U.S. album chart with her fourth album, Supposed Former Infatuation Junkie. The first single from the album, Thank You, received a Grammy Award nomination for Best Female Pop Vocal Performance. Alanis Morissette. In 2002, the surviving members of The Doors, Ray Manzarek and Bobby Krieger, announced they would record and tour again with a new lineup, including ex-Cult singer Ian Astbury and former Police drummer Stuart Copeland. The original drummer, John Densmore, was not able to take part because he was suffering from severe tinnitus. Now, I don't know if that ever happened. I was going to look and see if that ever happened. I don't remember that personally. I could have not paid attention to it because I didn't care back in 2002. But I just don't remember if that tour actually ever happened. Now, give it to Ozzy Osbourne because he struggled with a burglar who escaped with jewelry worth about $2.9 million from his Buckinghamshire mansion. In 2004, Ozzy told reporters that he had a masked raider in a headlock as he tried to stop him. The burglar broke free and jumped 30 feet from the first floor window. A large amount of jewelry was stolen in the raid in which 2 burglars were involved. 30 feet. Okay. Dude, I jumped 10 feet and I'm breaking a leg. You jump 30 feet? I don't know. You better be like a parkour fucking junkie. That is a long way down. I don't care how far you think that is. A high dive with water below you at 30 feet and you're going, whoa, dude, that's really high. So I don't know about 30 feet. I'm just saying. Maybe it was 3 feet, Ozzy. You know, come on. He was jumping out of the first floor window. He wasn't jumping out of off the roof. 30 feet. Come on. But he did have him in a headlock, right? But he broke free with $3 million worth of jewelry. Just saying. 2004, U2 shot the video for All Because of You from a moving flatbed truck on the streets of Brooklyn and New York City. Later in the day, they performed a brief concert under the Brooklyn Bridge, which was taped by MTV for a later showing. I remember all the commotion about that because they were blocking traffic and people were like, what is happening? Why is there a band on a flatbed truck driving around New York City? You know, that's the way it works, right? The Stone Roses. See, like I said, we talked about Rennie who died last night or on the 20th. But every time they're in here, there's always something bad. It's not like the Stone Roses did something fabulous. In 2005, a gig by former Stone Roses frontman Ian Brown was abandoned after 20 minutes because the floor of the venue began to sag. 2,000 people were told to leave Newcastle's Carling Academy, which had only been open for a month. Organizers said it was simply a safety precaution after joists under the main dance floor came out of their springs. I'm like, what did come out of their springs? All I know is that in the big room, the floor was concrete, okay? It was poured concrete with steel beams, 16 on center, okay? And when that place would be full, 200 people, and dancing and jumping, if you went downstairs and you watched, you could see the room flex. And because it would be like, ticka, 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 ticka. And like the door, one of the doors, when it was open, it would literally be like, because the frame would flex. Think about that. If you're 100 pounds and you've got, 200 people up there, do that math. You've got a lot of weight jumping up and down on this concrete floor spread over an entire surface area to make it go up and down. So for them to have to abandon, and I had the fire department in because someone complained and said, oh my God, I felt unsafe. The floor is going to collapse or something. The fire department said, we're coming in. I said, great. I'm good. I wanted to be safe. I literally had set a ladder up, had a flashlight, removed the ceiling tiles. When they came in, the guy was like, he even has a ladder set up. I'm like, yeah, of course I do. I said, I want you to check it. I was like, so they had a structural engineer and everyone who came in then, they're like, oh, it's this. It's cement floor. I'm like, yeah. I mean, sure, it flexes when we get the people in there. That is a fire code according to your records. But yeah, no, there's no problem. And they left very happy. But yes, if it came out of the springs or the safety, I would be a little nervous. That's me. I've seen too many of this. I've seen this movie before where, the staging, the rigging, this thing collapses because it's like, 2010, we talked about this the other day. After just 1 week of availability on the iTunes store, the Beatles' music sold more than 450,000 albums and 2 million individual songs. The Fab Four debut on iTunes was accompanied by an extensive worldwide marketing campaign. Okay, that's some pretty good sales. I mean, you make a little bit of money if you're making 500,000 albums in a week. Not too bad. Not too bad. Just saying. In 2016, the Hendersonville, Tennessee property where Johnny Cash and his wife June Carter Cash lived for most of their 35 years of marriage was put up for sale by the current owner. Apparently the house was destroyed in a fire in 2007, but 1-bedroom apartment building, a tennis court, a swimming pool, and a covered boat dock remained standing. The couple made their home there until their deaths in 2003. So They stayed there. 4 years later, the house burned down. And then basically it sat there for what? Another 9 years, burned to the ground. And then someone said, well, we'll sell this. Probably somebody just lived in a one-room apartment. Who knows? In 2019, Polestar published a list of top touring artists for 2010s. In North America, U2 came in first with a gross of $1,038,000,000, followed by the Rolling Stones at just under $1 billion, 929. Ed Sheeran at 922. That's million, 922 million. Taylor Swift at 899 million, and Bon Jovi at 868 million. I was like, really? Bon Jovi ranking up there with the big boys. $868 million gross revenues. That's not too shabby. And $1 billion gross revenue isn't bad for U2 either. Just saying. And last on the You Are a Shitbag, 2023, Axl Rose, former model Sheila Kennedy, sued. Oh, Todd, where are you? I totally let that one go. What happened, Todd? Where were you giving me grief at? Back to shitbags in the news. Axl Rose, former model Sheila Kennedy, sued Guns N' Roses frontman Axl Rose for alleged sexual assault and battery. According to her lawsuit, the rock musician attacked her during a violent hotel room encounter in New York City in 1989. Miss Kennedy said in her complaint that she was just a 26-year-old model from Penthouse magazine when she met Mr. Rose in a New York City nightclub in 1989. Hey, look, you can't harsh her for her profession. But still, Axl, bro, come on, not cool. Just saying. All right, births today. I'm going to keeping it brief, trying to keep it moving tonight. It's Saturday. No one wants to be here. You have other things to do. You have Sundays to get ready for. I have a Sunday to get ready for. I have to get up. I have a breakfast meeting at 10 o'clock in the morning that I'm so excited about. I'm going to go have breakfast. I love breakfast. Breakfast is like the best meal. You know, you're just waking up. Your body's like, feed me, Seymour. Have some coffee, go to a diner, get some greasy eggs and some hash browns. Yes, I'm in. Born on this day, Rodney Dangerfield. That's no respect. Caddyshack, all sorts of other stuff. Rodney Dangerfield died in 2004. Robert Vaughn. We're talking about Robert Vaughn, the man from Uncle. He died the other day, but today was his birthday. He died in 2016. Terry Gilliam of Monty Python, 85 today. Little Steven Van Zandt from the E Street Band, Bruce Springsteen, also on The Sopranos. He would be 75 today, sorry. Jamie Lee Curtis, 1967 years old today. Mark Ruffalo, 58 years old today. And Scarlett Johansson, 41. Also, we had Floyd Sneed of Three Dogs Night. He passed away in 2023. Tina Weymouth of the Talking Heads. She's 75 today. Lawrence Gownan of Styx, 69 today. And Karen Orzlak of the Yeah Yeah Yeahs, 47 today. We've had her at the station. Who'd we lose today? Well, we lost Scatman Crothers. And if you don't know who Scatman Crothers is, you do, because you've seen him in a movie, because I know you've seen the movie, because you saw the movie The Shining. He was the one who had the shine. And he took an axe to the chest for it. Michael Hutchison, we talked about, he died when he was 37 on this day in 1997. Self-inflicted hanging in the hotel in Sydney. I believe it was a Ritz-Carlton as well. So at least he was in a nice hotel, right? It wasn't like he was in a Motel 8 or something. Shep Howard of the Three Stooges died on this day. Shemp, S-H-E-M-P, Shemp Howard. He was only 60 years old. But that was 1955, so he's been dead for a long time. And then in 1996, Mark Leonard who played Sarek, who was Spock's dad, who was Leonard Nimoy. So Mark Leonard and Leonard Nimoy were fake father and son in Star Trek, but they also had the same name in a weird way. I just was a weird connection. That's all. My brain works like that. It connects stupid things. Since I am not a graceful ballerina. Joy Division. Yes, exactly. Yes. Joy Division. So yes, I am not a graceful ballerina. So I'm going to be feeling this hip pointer for days, I can tell you. It is going to bruise, and I'm going to bruise like a banana for this one. All right. So I'm going to leave. I'm just going to go. I'm tired. I got up too early this morning. My phone rang at like 8:30 this morning because someone's like, hey, can we park in your driveway this morning? I'm like, seriously? I was like, well, this is your nephew. I'm like, oh, right. You said you were coming down today for the game. I was dead asleep. I was not awake at 8:30 at all. So I had to get up and I walked outside right in pajamas. Didn't care. Went in pajamas. Just moved the car. I was like, yeah, come to the house. I'm going to go make coffee. Hells no. Yeah, well, too bad. I had to do it. So have a great rest of your Sunday night. I watched Pluribus last night. It needs to move along a little bit. It's a little slow. I like Pluribus, but it's moving a little slow. It needs to pick up the pace a little bit. Vince Gill wrote that. He wrote Breaking Bad. So I'm hoping it gets moving a little bit. It's just sort of plodding along a little bit, and I don't want to lose interest because I like the premise. But so I started watching Abstentia. About an FBI agent who was kidnapped for 6 years, and life moved on without her, and now she's sort of trying to get back into life. So I just started watching that last night, Abstentia. So we'll see how it turns out. I don't know. I'm not sure about it yet. It's definitely violent, and definitely a little wild. So we'll see. Again, just my binge watching late night TV couch sitting. So that's my wind down after the day, not this. Anyway, with that, I'm going to depart. I appreciate you. Don't forget, hit like. Since I see 7 people watching, only 1 like, damn it. Get to liking. Make sure you hit notifications. So you want notifications on so you know when I do this stupid shit. You want to hit like because you like me. And you have to engage so that I get engagement over here. Because at some point I have to figure out how to monetize this. Because, this working as a construction guy is getting old on my old body. I need to work on this influencer thing. Engaged! Woo! Yay! I feel so engaged. I appreciate it. I truly do. You have no idea how much that brings joy to my very unjoyful existence at the moment. I mean, it's not that it's unjoyful. It's just that this is not on my bingo card. That's all. When you look at the bingo card, it says, hey, I did not see that one. No, whoopsie. Such is life, though, right? We will all move forward with it. Have a great weekend. This is the beginning of Thanksgiving week. So I will be thankful for everything this week because what else do we have to be, right? Let's give it a shot. Thank you. Take care. I will look for you all tomorrow night. And we'll see if I can come up with something exciting because tomorrow I will have my 3rd computer added. I know. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screens. 5 screens. Slay the day away. Yes. I have 5 screens. And tomorrow I'm going to have 6. And I'll have 3 laptops going. That way I can start to interlude into this little black space now. See? Because that's all it is now. It's just a black space right there. That's all it is. I'm going to go ahead and be able to put in some stuff, shorts and whatever. That's what I'm working on. Be well. Have a great rest of your night. I look forward to tomorrow. Have a happy Sunday. Fade in the black. Man. child brides. Bad news. Bad news.